I've always been, like I said, competitive, and it definitely showed in the heat of the moment, in the heat of the battle. In between the lines, I felt like I was, as big as could be and as strong, that I was a monster. And so when it got heated, I was definitely in the middle of things. It never really got too carried away. Now that I think about it and I look back on it, I definitely was not as tough as I thought I was. Just competitive and passionate about what I was doing in the moment. Never did it because I wanted to fight. I started doing jiu-jitsu because I had been done playing junior college baseball and soccer, and at the time I was just kind of surfing and traveling the world surfing and just kind of being young. I was about 22 years old, and a friend of mine at the time had been fighting for about almost 10 years. Just as soon as we got out of high school, he'd been fighting, and he's like, you're not the same when you're not competing, and I definitely think it's something you should try. And I started with jiu-jitsu, and the first tournament I did, it was about a month after training, and I went out and I thought it was going to be easier than it was. I got out there, I got put in I think it was a crucifix, and the guy locked up a straight arm and tapped within the first minute and a half and busted up my elbow pretty good. And I remember thinking, like, wow, you're not as good as you thought you were, and there's a lot to learn. And from that point on, I just ran with it. So jiu-jitsu turned into boxing, boxing turned into wrestling, and then we did that amateur tournament, and here we are. It's just evolved. It's pretty crazy. I think for me, the switch is flipped, the whole 8 to 10 weeks through camp. Getting up every day is sometimes tougher than getting in the cage, because I've done so much preparation, dieting, the cardio, the lifting, the getting punched in the face, and all the hurdles you go through during camp. When I get in the cage, it's almost like it's prom night for me, man. Like, this is the dance. Like, I get to be there, I get to have fun, the attention's on me, and it's kind of like I'm entertaining the crowd. I always try to, I guess that would be me when I step in the cages. Win or lose, if you walk away and you were entertained, I'm happy. When I get in the cage, I'm not mad at you. I don't want to hurt anybody, but I definitely want to make you quit. I walk in, I tell myself, all right, this is for all the people that support you and that believe in you. This is for you and them. Like, show them what you're about. I get in there, door closes, and I tell myself, no one trains harder than you, no one works harder than you, and this is your time to show it. And so when I get in there, it's all about entertaining the crowd, for sure. It's definitely changed. At one point, it was the guy who has tattoos, a mohawk, and bangs strippers on his time off, and starts bar fights. And at one point, I guess you could say it was that, but now you got guys that they could have been lawyers, they could have been doctors, they've graduated, college, they've done a lot of other things outside of being an athlete that make them who they are. It's just that they maybe have their own competitive spirit, or they like fighting, whatever the case may be. It's a release, but it's definitely changed. We're athletes now. We're not knuckleheads, or what did my friend call them? Knuckle draggers. The people that inspire me the most are the ones that follow their dreams and really put their best effort forward and appreciate people that help them get there. We all came from somewhere, and especially in the sport, you don't do it alone. Yeah, you're the guy who kind of gets the limelight and receives the credit, and you get your hand raised, but you're not fighting just me, you're fighting everybody behind me that got me here. I guess appreciation and honor and integrity, and just kind-hearted people, I don't know, I've been super fortunate to be around good people that, thank you goes a long way. The word thank you, or a handshake, or a hug, or just appreciation for what people bring to the table. That's kind of what makes me feel, like, I don't want to say just a man, but a good person. Whether you're a man or a woman. I think there's certain values that you should have, and